Welcome back to your first lesson of ukulele this term. Today we are going to be joining the two. We're going to be merging the melody and the chords. We've usually relied on two different people when we're in our duets. One person plays the melody, the other plays the chords. But this time we said sayonara to our teammates. They were taking up all the cash and we needed to pay our bills. So we're going to handle both the chords and the melodies by ourselves. In other words, we're going to be a one-man band, a ukulele soloist. All right? So this is the first piece we're going to start off playing. Let's see if you can guess what it's called. 1, 2, 3, go. And it goes like this. What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way ho and up she rises, way ho and up she rises, way ho and up she rises, early in the morning. And that's the drunken sailor. So we're gonna be trying to get both the chords and melody and work on them. This is a nice starting place. It's easy. However, we will get to the difficult stuff in a very short amount of time. So enjoy the easy stuff while it lasts. It might only last 1 week because it's going to get spicy real quick. Hope you got your water with you. So in order to get a chord melody good, we first need to know the melody and then be able to apply the chords afterwards. So let's get this. So the words go, what shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor early in the morning? Alright, so let's get that. Notice what I'm doing with my right hand. I'm using both my thumb and my index finger. That's the only way you're gonna get good speed. If you just use your thumb, it'll sound hoppy and static, and you won't be able to get the speed you need. So make sure you incorporate both your thumb and index. So my thumb goes down, my index comes up. Let's try that together. Down, up. Down with the thumb, up with the finger. Down, up, 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 down, up. Alright, so practice that down and up motion. This is going to give you a good amount of speed. And we're going to do this in a couple of different strings, okay? So from the C, so down, up to the E, down, up to the A, down, up, back up, down, up again, down, up, okay? So the melody goes on the A string with nothing there. What shall we do with the drum? Alright? What shall we do with the drum? And notice how each finger is getting a turn. I'm not doubling it up, okay? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? So, can sailor is second finger on the C string with my middle finger. But we're going to actually use our ring finger because we're going to be holding a D minor chord, okay? So it's going to be my ring finger on the second fret of the C, index finger on the first fret of the E. And that's going to be can say, okay? I'm playing that C, E, and then the open A again. Can sailor, what shall we do with the drunken sailor? Then the next part, we're going to have a kind of C chord. It's kind of like C. The C we know is always down here, but there's also another C that's up there, okay? And you only strum those three. But we're going to start off on that note, third fret on the E string. What shall we do with the drum? Every time we hear drum, we go for can. Can is where it changes, okay? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? So the can is the open C string, say is open E string, and lur, third fret of the E string. Can sailor, okay? Then it just goes back to the first part. What shall we do with the drum? Can sailor. Alright, and that one we're actually going to play with our pinky. Can sailor. That's the second fret of the A, third fret of the A, fifth fret of the A. So, what shall we do with the drunken sailor? So let's try everything up until there. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Then the last line, early in the morning. So that is 3rd fret on the A with my thumb going down, and then 0 on the A with my index finger coming up. So down, up, 3, 0. Then I do the same thing on the string above, on the E string. Down, up, with my thumb going down, index going up. And then morning, 2nd fret on the C twice. Early in the morning. So let's try the whole melody one time. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning. That's pretty much it, and we just play it twice. So make sure you have that melody, and make sure you're incorporating both the down with the thumb and the up with the index finger. Alright, in terms of chords, this is a piece of cake. We're going to start off with a D minor, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G, ring finger on the 2nd fret of the C, index finger on the 1st fret of the E, and then nothing on the A. Alright? So we're only going to have a D minor and a C major. And this C major is going to be on the 3rd fret of the E. And then later on we'll have another C in the C place we know it, okay? And the chords go like this. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What? That's C. Make sure you only strum the first 3 strings, the G, C, and E. Alright? And then you don't strum that A string. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Back to D minor. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? C, C, D minor. Alright, so that double C was C, the one we know. C up above. My thumb is only reaching that E string. And then back to D minor. So early in the morning. Alright. So last time. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning. Way ho and up she rises, hey ho and up she rises, hey ho and up she rises early in the morning. Just a quick one. So this is a sea shanty, meaning pirates would have sang this all together in unison back in the day. And what would be happening is when they're saying, way ho and up she rises, they're talking about the sails, when they're yanking the sails up. So like, hey ho and up she rises, hey ho, while they're yanking the sails up. So that was just to give the sailors morale, because they were suffering from scurvy and cannonballs, killing them all. So they needed some enjoyment in their life. Alright, so on to our chords and our melody. What we have is, start with that D minor, what, and then I'll stay on that A string with my thumb. What, and I play that A string again with my thumb. So what shall we do? Alright, so shall we do is down, with the thumb, index, thumb. What shall we do with the drum? And notice how I'm keeping the fingers alternating. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? But you can double it up if you're able to, and that's comfortable for you, do it. You can go, what shall we do with the drum? Alright, so it's like thumb, thumb, index, thumb, thumb, index, thumb. Alright, so thumb, index, thumb, or thumb, index, thumb, index, whatever works for you. Just make sure the fingers move with the melody. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? So while holding that D minor, you don't change anything. The thumb just goes to the C string, then goes to the E string, then down to the A string. So that's the can sailor. Alright? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Then that C chord. What shall we do with the drunken? Alright? What shall we do with the drunken? I go to that C string. I let go of my ring finger on that 3rd fret, so it's open E. Can sailor. Can sailor. So 0, 0, 3. Then back to that D minor. What shall we do with the drum? Now watch this. I'm going to bring my pinky. This is where the pinky shines, and it's one of the most important fingers when we're playing chord melodies. What shall we do with the drunken? Second fret on the A, then third fret on the A, then fifth fret on the A, all pinky. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Then we finish with a strum on a regular C, then Lee, index finger plays it on the up on the open A, early. Then we strum this new C chord, in. Then we let go and index finger plays the open E string, alright, so early in the morning. Now there what I'm doing is more, down, up, down. So play that C string while you're holding a D minor, more, down, up, down. Alright, so early in the morning. So the whole thing should sound like this. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken pinky? Early in the morning. Way ho and up she rises. Way ho and up she rises. Way ho and up she rises early in the morning. And your goal is to be able to play that twice. And once you get really comfortable with it, speed it up. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor early in the morning? Way ho and up she rises. Way ho and up she rises. Way ho and up she rises early the more. Quicker! What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Way ho and up she rises. Way ho and up she rises. Way ho and up she rises early in the morning. Yeah! Drunken sailors are not good people. Alright everyone, and that is our first chord melody, the drunken sailor. So, have fun practicing it. Make sure you focus on getting it accurately because these chord melodies are very unforgiving. Right now, we're blowing everything off the top. That means we're going to be putting our fingers in very awkward positions and situations, but we're going to have to get used to it because that's the only way we're going to make some beautiful music. So have fun with the drunken sailor and make sure you try and wake him up in the morning, and I'll see you next week.